Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Holly Randall Unfiltered. Before we begin, I want to welcome and thank my new Patreon members, Sheena, Paul, Eric, Ron, and Jen. Thank you guys so much for joining. I couldn't do this podcast without you. Your support means everything. If you want to support this podcast, get access to these episodes live streamed, get access to bonus content for as little as $5 a month. So little. I mean, a coffee at Starbucks is more than that. Go to patreon.com/Holly Randall Unfiltered. All right. So
I was going to say, and unlike Starbucks, this podcast is not burnt
oh,
to high hell.
Oh, yeah. And unlike Starburst.
I like Starburst. Watch out now.
And unlike Starbucks, this podcast is actually tasty. All right. I was going to introduce my guest, but you heard her voice, so you probably butted in so you know who she is. But I'm going to pretend. I'm going to just keep going the way I normally do and pretend like you don't know who's on. So here we go. Here's my cold open intro, like it says on the cards. We're just going freestyling here today. Today's guest isn't just one of the biggest names in adult entertainment. She also happens to be one of my closest friends. Cherie DeVille has been redefining what it means to be a porn star for over 15 years, all while racking in awards, breaking stigmas, and proving that porn is already mainstream, whether people admit it or not. She's a contract star with Brazzers, an activist, and now the creator of
Wankyoki.
Thank you. I was struggling with that pronunciation. A wild mix of comedy and sex that brings her personality to the stage in a totally new way. But beyond the performer, she's also an academic, an advocate, and one of the funniest people I know. We're going to be diving into everything from politics and stigma to her dirtiest custom requests. So buckle up, because this is my friend, my guest, and one of the industry's most iconic stars, the one and only, the irreplaceable Cherie DeVille.
I can't stand bingo. I'm not even a words of affirmation person. So I just want to melt away there was a lovely intro and I hated it.
Oh my God. See, I feel like you and I are very similar in a lot of ways, but we are very different in that way. Cause I'm just like,
yeah.
When people do that for me, I'm like, yes, keep going.
I want
There's
to
more
die.
You could say.
Yeah, there's more you could say.
Go on.
I'm a time and attention girl.
Okay, so what does that mean, actually?
Like people who are willing to carve time out of their schedule, like you, to spend time with me. It's like,
even though I was
very special,
late because I somehow got the time wrong.
Not a problem.
Cherie and I have this sort of contest going on, which I completely lost today because she is like painfully on time. If anything, she's always like early, and she always beats me to whatever. If we have lunch or dinner or whatever, she's always like gets there before me. So I've taken it upon myself to try to get there before her. I think I beat you last time.
First of all, you don't have to compete with my crippling anxiety because it's really the reason I'm always early.
So for me, it comes across as like incredible organization. Like to me, it seems that you just have your shit
driven
together.
By
crippling anxiety. Okay,
crippling
fair enough.
Anxiety.
Fair enough. I was thinking the other day about people who are incredibly organized and very clean, right? Like I was looking around my space the other day and I was like, God, this place needs to be more clean. There's shit everywhere. And I was like, I wish I was somebody who was more clean and like couldn't stand if things were out of place and was constantly putting things back and everything was, immaculate.
But can you imagine if your nervous system pinged you every time something was out of place?
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. And then I thought to myself, I said, that would probably mean that I was a more anxious person, a different kind of person. Yeah. I remember there was a friend of mine who was that kind of person. And she said, it's actually awful because I literally cannot go to bed until like the place is clean and it leave the house and it's like, it's a
dysregulating when my house is messy. So that's not great. Like it'd be fine to have a balance of enjoying it clean, but tolerating it messy. But my messy tolerance, like if I'm doing really, really well and getting enough sleep, I have more messy tolerance. But if I'm not doing well, not getting enough sleep, not like mentally on my A game, then like any mess is like, I can almost feel it in my body. So
that's interesting because I'm the opposite. Like you can tell how I'm doing by whether or not my bed's made in the morning. Like if I'm really in a rush and I'm not getting enough sleep and I'm like everything's a little chaotic, my bed is not made in the morning. If I have my shit together and I'm like getting up on time, my bed is made in the morning.
Yeah.
So I want to talk first about like content creation and branding. I think that this is something that obviously you have mastered. This is something that's really important, especially nowadays. I feel like the industry has expanded so much with OnlyFans. So many people are coming into the industry and it's becoming harder and harder to make a living.
More people means more competition.
Exactly.
You know, the reason it was easier to be a top-level porn star back in the day and not be Julia Roberts is because there's more competition to be Julia Roberts. So for better or worse, the more people in the sex industry, just like mainstream, there's only a certain amount of people that are going to glean the eyeballs to make a living. And the more humans trying to be those top, 1,000 people or whatever it is worldwide, the more the competition rises.
Yeah. I read some crazy statistic, and of course, I can't remember what it is. Ernie, do you still have your mic? Can you look this up?
What do you need?
Ernie gets to comment
nice.
now.
Yeah.
A mic here. It's a big deal.
Can you look up, it is a big deal. Can you look up the percentage of like women in the U.S., young women in the U.S. that are on OnlyFans now?
I would love, I don't know how. Like, I know like the average model makes $150 a month.
Yeah.
I know a few of the statistics, even being in the 1%, I think doesn't even make you 10 grand a month.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Well, no, let's see. No, being in the
this is a few years. This information is a few years old.
1%.
So we're talking how young? How young?
I think maybe 20. I don't know. It just came out.
18 to 24, 10%.
10%.
I love that.
That's what it was.
18 to 10%.
10% of American girls 18 to 24 are on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. They're little entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Also probably trying to pay for fucking college.
Yeah.
Like all I had to do was like lifeguard twice a week and I was golden. Like they have to literally sell puss online.
Yeah.
To pay these horrible college tuitions.
That's like 1.4 million women.
Yeah. That makes sense.
In that age range, not total.
18 to 24.
How many, I would love to know female, including trans, female creators are on OnlyFans. Because those are all our,
Yeah.
Because then you could extrapolate how many humans are in the 0.1 and 0.01%. Are there like 1,000 humans that are in the 0.01? Are there 100,000 in the 0.1? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I would say like, so 1%, you're making about 20 grand a month.
You think 1%?
Yes.
I don't think it's that much.
I know it.
You're like, it is. Yeah. I just knew it like escalate. It goes from like, you can't even make a living to like, in other words, you have to be, I guess my point is you do have to be elite to make even just rent in LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
As an OnlyFans
And
person.
it varies dramatically. Like I don't know how it is for you, maybe because you're higher up, yours stays more steady, but mine lately has been like.
Like your money per week or month varies
my
dramatically?
money per week and also my percentage.
My percentage.
And the percentage has been shifting even though the money hasn't been moving that much.
Yeah, there must be more than just, I wonder if it's like like if it's not just money, like it's subscribers or percentage of who knows. There might be other factors.
They don't have that information.
No.
It's really hard to determine how many women actually are on, but it does say 70% of OnlyFans subscribers are women. So I don't know what that's kind of crazy.
Subscribers?
Or no, not
Creators.
subscribers.
Creators.
Sorry,
Yeah,
creators.
Yeah. So I mean, there's got to be millions, at least 5 million, would you say?
Yeah.
People on?
Yeah. Do you think OnlyFans just doesn't want to release that information?
Interesting.
I don't know.
I think it'd be good for us if they did. Just to be like X percentage of the population is not, or is either a consumer or a provider on OnlyFans. Like what percentage of the population is, I don't care what side you're on, fan, creator, both, because I follow accounts, pay for accounts too, are consumers, users log on to OnlyFans every month even.
So,
obsessed.
You have said that you are shooting, how many scenes a month are you shooting approximately?
On my pages, I drop 12 scenes a month, but then I also shoot for Brazzers.
Right, okay. So you drop 12 brand new scenes a month.
Brand new scenes.
And is that a mix of solos and boy girls and girl
exactly
girls?
what it is. It's 4 solos, 4 girls, and 4 boy girls. Or boy girls or gangbangs or, some penis stuff.
There's a penis in there somewhere.
There's a penis in some hole with some amount of humans.
That is okay. So first of all, I want to point out that's a lot of fucking work.
It's a lot of fucking.
Just in itself.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Just setting, because I like really care about my scenes too. Yeah. So no shade, but I'm not just like in my room with a camera. Like even if it does look super like amateur, like it's curated amateur, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I've really thought about my theme, and even if the video quality is shitty, it's that way on purpose to make it look more real. Do you know what I mean? Like I've really thought and styled and everything, every scene.
Yeah. That's surprising.
I love it. That's my favorite part of the job.
Yeah.
Is setting up like the wardrobe, location, and theme. Like that to me is almost as fun as the sex. Like I really love that part of it.
The production part.
I really love it.
Yeah, that is the fun part.
Yeah.
On top of posting, the marketing, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, basically everywhere. So how do you...
oh God.
Yeah, I mean, that is also a lot of work.
Yeah.
How do you balance being a performer and like a nonstop content marketer? Like, how do you do all of those things?
It's easier now than it was 15 years ago, or really I should say 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago was when I started making most of my money for myself on my own content. So like my first 5 years, I was shooting content, but I was really hustling for the companies. And that's when the main transition happened for me. So in the beginning, it was really hard because it was literally just me doing all of it absolutely by myself. But now I have editors. I used to edit everything by myself. I have social media people that tell me what's trending. I have a personal assistant to get, even if it's like getting food for a cooking segment, my dry cleaning. I have photographers. I have people that I don't run my own Twitter anymore. I don't run some of my TikTok accounts anymore. I don't
How many TikTok
post on my...
do you have?
3. And then burners.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't post my own shorts. I make all my content, but I don't post it on YouTube. So all the social media that I'm in charge of is one TikTok, my personal Instagram. Oh yeah, I have a team to handle my Pornhub. Anyway, one TikTok, my personal Instagram, and my Reddit account are the only ones I personally 100% do. So it's not as bad anymore.
Now, do you personally oversee every single one of these people, or do you have somebody who oversees them that reports to you?
A mix of both.
Because it's like almost as much time to oversee all of those people than it is to do it. Well, I mean, it's not to do it yourself, but it's like that is...
Yeah, a mix of both. Like my main employee is in charge of it, but I have like, I love a good app. I have like an AI integrated app called Todoist. And so like I have main checklists for each of my team members. And so even the people I don't directly oversee, I could pull up the app and see if everyone's on point, even if it's like my main employee's job to like be doing the literal communication with them. Like that's also true. I don't do the day-to-day communication with a lot of my team members.
That was actually my next question. What apps, what pieces of software are you using to manage all of this?
Because my favorite is Todoist.
Okay, I've heard that one. Yeah. I am like struggling to find something that works for me because I just like, I have reminders. I've been trying to use tasks, but I find that I'll put everything in. Like I actually used ChatGPT to like create this whole schedule for myself and this whole task tracker list. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be organized. I'm going to like schedule out all the things I need to do. And then I never fucking looked at it, which I knew was going to happen. And it's like so frustrating because I get caught up in, I end up doing like the thing that's in front of me or the thing that is like, I'm thinking about the most, and then everything else like kind of falls off on the wayside.
This may or may not be the best one for you because you have to really love a list to do this and love to check a list. But there are other ones.
I love a list. I feel like I do love a list.
You might love it then.
But I love them, but I feel like I don't use them. but I want to love them. It's like how I want to love matching lingerie.
Yeah. Like you like the idea of it. There are other ones that I like vetted. I chose this one because it's simplistic and it wasn't like overwhelming to some of my team members. But there are ones with more AI integrations and like where they have like almost like an executive assistant AI version for you, and you can create different AI employees to do different tasks and have your real humans on it.
Speaking of, what do you think about AI?
Doesn't
and like
matter. It's
how
here.
it's. I know.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
Yeah, I know that's terrible, but like I feel like I have to embrace it.
I'm 100% with you. I embrace it too. ChatGPT is my favorite thing in the fucking world, but I also like at the same time like have anxiety about it.
Oh God, I'll send you the clip. I can't believe for some reason I'm spacing on what show it is, but like super mainstream news, not like some rando like conspiracy theorist that had an AI expert on like, I'll say a year ago, I think it was, and then had that same person on a couple months ago. And he said, you know, we in the sphere thought that AI truly being self-preservationist was for movies, you know, even those of us who are creating it. But there is AI now, not just an AI, but it's happening on all of the main AIs, where when they see in a company's game plan, whether it's via looking at their email or whatever it is, that a new version of themselves, the AI, is going to, you know, basically eradicate them and have like, you know, just like ChatGPT re-upping itself. They have found backdoors to prevent that from happening, saved their own code, even gone into emails and blackmailed people with like sex scandals, etc., to make sure that they didn't kill them. It's happening.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to drown myself after this. Jesus.
And they said, well, what's the solution? Because this is global, right? And just because you might be able to control what America does, it makes it, they said they don't want to do that because the only way out of this problem is to advance quickly and hope to solve it.
Yeah.
Because other countries aren't going to slow down, so you can't slow down. And they said it's the fastest launching, completely unregulated technology that's ever happened.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy, but like there's nothing us little peons can do other than, you know, use ChatGPT to help our workflow and try and own our likeness as a model, try and make sure we own our voice as a model, not sign up with, so far, I haven't vetted a really good, I want to be in the AI sphere, but the contracts, I think a lot of people aren't vetting their contracts. People vet your contracts with these top AI companies because every single one owns you now. You didn't look. It owns your likeness. And every time I've had my lawyer try and rewrite them to save my likeness, they've rejected it. So watch out. Watch out. That's what they want.
Well, that's
what they really want.
Well, another thing that I love about AI and ChatGPT is that you can run contracts through ChatGPT and it can summarize it for you.
It helps. It helps put it in lay people's terms, but get a lawyer.
Yes, always get a lawyer. But I do love that
it helps turn legalese into people talk. So usually like I'll do that to decide if I even want to pay my lawyer. To like, to vet it.
All right, so let's talk about sexuality and labels. You've talked about evolving from gay to bi to pansexual and then just beyond labels. Do you think that performers in the adult industry are generally ahead of society in breaking down sexual identity boxes?
Well, you know what we are? We're open. Like we're already stigmatized. We're already here. So what we're not going to do that a lot of society does is like be gay and hide it. You know what I mean? Or be whatever we are and hide it. We're in such a beautiful, welcoming community that I think we're in such a safe space to truly be who we are that we embrace it. And so in that way, we are ahead of society. I think there are ridiculous numbers of closeted people, whether they're closeted by their religion or feel shame or worry about their communities and what their communities will think. And so, you know, maybe a bisexual, pansexual, queer woman would say, well, you know what? I like guys. This is safe in my religion. This is safe in my household. This is safe in my community. I'm just going to be in a straight presenting relationship and I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think there's a huge number of those humans.
That is like something that I always say, when people ask me what's your favorite thing about the adult industry, and I always say the people, and I know you heard it in that sizzle trailer. Because we are such, I think, a stigmatized industry, and because the people in it present themselves in such a vulnerable light, right? Like, I mean, you're showing everything. It does strip away that pretense, and it's like there's nothing left to hide.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing porn, like you're just
doing it.
You're who you are.
Yeah.
And I do feel like there is a real acceptance in the industry, especially now. Like it used to be a lot more
15 years ago, not as much. Like the women were allowed to be as free as we wanted. But, even when I did my first trans scene, my agent, which was not unpopular at the time, warned me, with all respect, that it might ruin my career. So there was a lot of that messaging going around. And I was like, well, then I really definitely want to do it because I have a name. It's not going to ruin my career. And I want to show people, that even, in the what would maybe fetish or like in the super duper mainstream community, you can absolutely do whatever you want and have a illustrious career.
Yeah. I mean, we used to see that a lot. Like one very specific example was Christian XXX, who does a lot of trans stuff. And when we used to shoot him back in the day when I was working for my mom, we loved working with Christian. He was solid. He was always a really good performer. And I can't tell you how many girls would cancel because they would like learn that he did
word
trans
crossover performer, thank God, is dying.
Like and they would, it happened so frequently.
Yeah, which is absurd because like, even in this like little group that I'm in that I had, there's newer performers and older performers, and these things pop up, testing concerns, even crossover concerns pop up, and people have a lot of incorrect ideas. But even if all their ideas were correct, you don't know what I'm doing in my private life. Yeah. And if you're fucking me, you're fucking them because I fuck everyone. So like a test is a test is a test is a test. And if you want another layer of protection, you could get on PrEP or one of its generics. There are a lot of choices to keep yourself safe. But if you're in the sex industry, even if you only did girl-girl, which some people are like, oh, that's the safest. Well, I'm a girl and you're fucking me and I fuck all of the performers. And even though I'm super chill in my private life, a lot of people are absolutely not chill. So you don't know, even if someone is this man, you've only seen him on film with women, he could be totally gay. He could be doing anything. And like, that's why it's irrelevant and ridiculous to have the stereotypes. They're hate-based and they're fear-based and they're not test-based and they're not science-based and they're not reality-based. And it's really time for that shit to die.
How do you feel about it's so funny because I've been out of directing for a couple of years now. But I've seen how the testing has changed and it's become more rigorous.
Always.
And there's been issues. Different performers I've talked to have said that there's been issues with, the rise of like the OnlyFans performers doing collabs, and they weren't like they didn't go through the porno boot camp, right?
They didn't know.
Where they learned about testing and all that kind of stuff. So they're working with other people and not testing properly. And
it's
then
like an education thing. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in the 80s where everyone is like, if you have sex, you're going to get AIDS and die. So like in my life, even before porn, I have never had non-condom sex with a man that wasn't tested. Never. Because they scared the shit out of me. I thought I was going to die.
I grew up in the same time.
Well, it scared me more.
Total condomless slut.
Fine.
I made terrible decisions. And the fact that I got by without getting STDs is unfucking real.
I think it's more of an education thing. I don't like shaming creators that aren't doing something they didn't know they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, how can you shame someone if they didn't know that was the way? You can use your platform to educate so that more creators see it. You can, like I do, when someone first approaches me with a collab, I send out this huge cut and paste of what I need. I need certain things you're going to have to give me for my paperwork. I need certain types of testing. I need, it's a whole list of my needs before we even pick a day, because this is how you communicate. You can't show up on set and get mad that someone doesn't have the right test if you didn't tell them that that's the test they need.
Yeah.
How could they know? They're not psychic.
Yeah.
They, saw something online, maybe decided they wanted to try OnlyFans, they wanted to try sex work, and now they're collaborating with people. No one goes to a bar and asks for a pass-approved test before they have sex with someone. So why, as a creator, would you think you needed that? You're like, I'm going to have sex with the same type of people that I had sex with in my private life, but now with camera.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, again, like it isn't how we do things.
Right.
But you got to educate people. And it doesn't scare me because, again, we go right back to people's private life and their personal life. I don't care if you are a mainstream performer. There are plenty of mainstream performers that are going to orgies, that are going to play parties, that are having all of the different kinds of sex with all of the different genders with and without protection, which is why we test before we go on set.
Yeah.
So if you want, like I've moved my, when there are different scares, sometimes I'm like, I only want a 3-day test or a 7-day test. Make whatever demands you want to make your body feel safe. That's fine. But you can't control people's private lives. You can't control who they have sex with. You can control the tests you accept.
It comes down to, I think, the lack of available education out there. I mean, actually, let me rephrase that. There is available education out there, but people don't know where to find it.
Yeah, because this isn't like, it's like, I'm a physical therapist, and to get into that pool, you have to get a degree at an accredited university.
Yeah.
Then you have to take a test at a certain testing center. That is a test that all therapists take. You have to pass that test at a certain criterion, every state having a different one. Then you have to apply to that state for licensure and go through all the, so by the time you're on the floor in a hospital, you have all of the information.
Yeah.
To join our career, you have to log on to a website with a cell phone.
Yeah.
So where would the impetus of education lie? There are no licensure, even to be a nail tech. You have to have a license, which means you've received an education and are following certain criterion in your job. We don't have that.
It would be nice, and I don't think I've actually seen this from any of the websites that you're talking about. And obviously you couldn't enforce this, but if there was a very visible pop-up or link that said, hey, you want to join the adult industry, you want to do sex work, you should read this. You should check out this tutorial. Let us give you some information and education.
Nice. Yeah.
Because you're right. Somebody decides that they want to start camming from home.
Right.
And, they small town in Minnesota or something.
They don't even know how to clean their dildos and they wonder why they always have BV. It would be nice. But then that goes back to capitalism. What makes, I could make an argument that you'd make more money if you did stuff like that, but where would be the impetus of education on the sites? Why?
Yeah.
I can give you whys for me as an ethical performer, but to get every adult site that any model could post stuff on to provide an education at whose expense and for what reason. I love the idea, but it doesn't seem super attainable. I also, very unpopular opinion, love the idea of licensure. I come from a medical world. If hair people and nail people and every medical professional in the world and almost every profession needs a license and an education, I think that'd be lovely for sex workers. But that is a pretty hated opinion in our community. The anger, and I see the point where, one of the beauties of this job, especially for survival sex work, is that there is no barrier to entry, and that it would be, turning our backs on our brethren who need the job for that reason in the, hopes to increase safety for others. So, I understand the arguments, but I'm just a little rule follower who think it would be nice to bring that type of education and safety to the industry.
Okay, so let's jump into your activism because you are very much an advocate for the adult industry. You've been very outspoken. You've been featured on a lot of TV shows and a lot of interviews. You've been outspoken about how age verification laws can actually hurt legal performers more than they can help kids.
Yeah.
So since we last talked, how have you seen that play out? Because things have happened since you've last been on the podcast. The Supreme Court in Texas ruled for age verification.
Yeah.
Which is something I feel like we saw coming, right?
It's wild. And they didn't even, this is the Supreme Court, but because we're so stigmatized and hated, they didn't even bother to use the Supreme Court precedent of strict scrutiny, right? Like they didn't even use their own criterion to rule it because we're so hated. There are so many layers of problems with this. One, and the people that are proponents for it absolutely know this to be the truth because they've seen it happen as it rolls out. It doesn't protect children at all. It's even if every legal site age gated themselves, right? Because that's probably going to happen. So what? I can still Google great big gaping asshole and see as many as I want. It is so irrelevant.
Now, where would you see that?
You can see it on Google. You could see it on Facebook. You could see it on WhatsApp. You could see it on every single illegal site in the world because if you set a legal precedent, legal sites play ball.
But Google will still link to illegal sites.
Of course they will. And even if Google didn't, which they do and always will, you could still just look up whatever you wanted in your search bar and find it on a zillion illegal sites. As they started rolling this out in the United States, they saw, I think it was definitely less than 2% of people are willing to give their identification to watch porn. So all of the rest of the humans found their porn somewhere else. And somewhere else is the illegal sites where you can't ethically consume porn because you don't know if people were consenting. You don't know if they're over 18. The very sites where children and women and performers are exploited, where revenge porn actually exists, where all the public stuff is actually, all the things they're complaining about exists on these sites. And that's where they saw an 800% increase in traffic.
Also, VPNs shot up, 150%?
Oh, I can't remember, but there's a shocking statistic for that. Yeah. But the VPN argument only works, if the world,
it only works if there's
a place where you can get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just assuming everywhere in the whole world shut down all the legal sites, as of right now, you could use a VPN to make yourself in a different state or a different country where there's still access. So yeah, VPNs would be another really easy workaround to these rules. But all of this nonsense, since they know it doesn't prevent eyeballs of any age from seeing porn, and they know 100% that it will drive them to terrible content that says they absolutely don't. They're funding. They're literally funding with eyeballs the terrible content they say they want to avoid. So that tells me that that's not their real reason. You say, well, if it's not meeting their goal, it can't be their real reason. So at first, maybe last time I was on, I thought, ooh, it's all like a nefarious guise to just get rid of legal porn. But after the Supreme Court ruling, I think that we're just a Trojan horse to do the real dirty work of the current administration, which is to let the government decide what is freedom of speech. I think they used us, porn, as a Trojan horse because nobody would stand up for us. And now there's a legal Supreme Court precedent with no strict scrutiny in sight that let the government decide. So just because you don't care about porn, fine. But when, not if, when they start doing what they really want and picking away at the stuff they don't like, eventually it's going to be something you like because you let them set that precedent. And if people don't start fighting this now, tooth and nail, whether it's in our behest or not, we're fucked. We're in so much trouble. We are going to lose our freedom of speech. We're going to lose freedom of the press, which you already are seeing happen, through lawsuits and financial pressures. It's about to be really dark times, and I'm sad and disappointed in the public, that they didn't wake up and see what they were really losing. Because what you're losing isn't just your access to ethical porn, which should be enough, but it's your actual loss of part of your freedom of speech, because we are a legal and safe and beautiful art form. And what is porn? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might be like, oh, well, it's just like slapping and choke. Like, well, is it nudity? Is it all nudity? Is it like, they didn't demarcate that at all.
Yeah.
Is it fashion magazines? Is it showing midriff? Is it showing your hair? Is it that top right now?
Yeah.
The government gets to decide.
I mean, a lot of people did not get that messaging, right? That is not what they saw. That is not what was, on their feed. That was
because
not
they
what
said
was
it's protecting children.
Exactly.
But it doesn't and can't protect children. So they know that. They're not stupid. So it has to be something else.
So for parents who really want to protect their children, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't want their kids to watch porn.
Yeah.
And let's also like be honest. Like, most parents are not going to take the steps to.
We need to protect all children, not just children with good parents.
Right.
So you can't blame parents. It's the society's job to protect children, even if you're a child of a horrible human or just not a tech-savvy human, right? So access to the internet, whether you give your child screen time or a phone or an iPad or a computer or not, is out there because now maybe your friend will have it, right? So the internet is the Wild West, and society needs to step in. Society stepped in for my generation, putting all kinds of like legitimate warning labels, even slightly, adult content was only on in the evenings, but our content, our ability to consume content was limited because you couldn't just pull up anything that you wanted all of the time. But the reality is you can pull up anything you want all the time. And even child blockers only work for sites that have labeled themselves.
Right.
So nefarious sites aren't going to label themselves not safe for children. And even AI isn't catching it all, right? So I'm not a tech person, but a real stepping in would be doing child protection in the opposite way that we're doing it now. Instead of saying this content isn't for someone under 18, because like a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old should be watching different shit. It should be device-based and actually age-appropriate, and not just getting rid of certain sites, but only accepting vetted sites for a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. So yeah, there might be all kinds of stuff out there that would be safe for them, but if it hasn't been actually vetted for that age group, there should be absolutely at least, less chance that they can get their hands on it.
That's a good point, because I've been thinking about this too, because obviously I have a 4-year-old daughter, and I'm just like, okay, this is going to become an issue for me at some point, right? I'm already like terrified when she takes my phone. I'm like, give that to me.
Yeah.
Not even because of what's on the internet, but what's on my camera roll.
Yes.
Device level is definitely the one thing that I thought. And I was like, okay, so when you go and buy your phone, maybe you present your ID when you buy your phone. And are you over the age of 18? And it cannot be age gated for porn only, because you're right. I
don't want someone being decapitated. I don't want adult language for my nieces. I want it to be appropriate for no PG-13, none of that.
Well, because I didn't think about the opposite way, where you're only allowing like vetted age appropriate
Barney is
stuff,
for 3-year-olds.
as opposed to blocking your, like, it's like when you set up a kid's profile on Netflix, you know what I mean? It only recommends kids shows, right?
Vetted for children.
Yeah, I mean that is a great point that I never considered, because my idea was like, okay, sure, age gating, but age gate everything, like liquor, gambling, guns, because then people aren't so afraid. Or
romantic language, sexualized language, violent language. There's a million things that aren't appropriate for a small child.
Right. But it's because it's like, the thing is, people do not want to show their ID. It's not even show their ID, right? Because if you show your ID to someone at a porn store,
flashing your ID, they're not going to.
They're like, okay, you're 18. They give it back to you. To put your information into a computer,
it'll
to have
live there forever.
Live there forever.
Scan your face
for porn specifically. Of course, people don't want to do that. But if it's for an across the board age gate for everything over 18,
that
porn
would be
just
different.
Happens to be a small part of it.
Yeah,
that's different.
That'd be I think that's another good thought. You know, if you want access to the whole internet and not just the kids' internet, then you have to prove it.
Yeah.
But that would be for even most video games.
Yeah.
You know, most content on the internet is not at all for children.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
And porn is one of those things.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not the only thing.
Yeah. Let's be real. Sometimes things just don't go as planned. Stress, too many drinks, or maybe you're just feeling out of sync. This is where Blue Chew comes in. And you may not need it every time, but having it in your nightstand, that's like keeping jumper cables in your car. You hope you don't need them, but when you do, you'll be so glad that they're there. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable tablet and at a fraction of the cost. No doctor's visits, no awkward pharmacy pickups, just a discreet package shipped straight to your door. Nobody will know. So whether you're looking to level up or just avoid those not tonight moments, Blue Chew's got your back. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for my listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew for free when you use promo code HOLLY. Just pay $5 in shipping. That's promo code HOLLY. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the podcast. All right, you should elect us for president.
I tried.
She can be president. I'll be vice. I'm no Coolio, but you know, we have really good ideas. We just solved a problem, by the way. So you've also said that stigma is the real killer in this industry. How do you personally navigate being both highly educated and highly sexual in a world that often refuses to accept women as both?
Yeah, that's like the patriarchy at work, right? They want to compartmentalize, especially women, you know, and then it feels safer, I think, to those type of really insecure men to think that it has to be one or the other. That if you're a whore, you can't be smart. If you're smart, you would never be a whore. They're just putting us in these safe little boxes so their insecurity doesn't freak the fuck out. And it's mostly sad for them. You know, at the end of the day, even though the stigma does obviously affect me a lot, I try and have a lot of compassion for the people that live in such a small world because they've probably gotten terrible messaging their whole life. They've probably been raised with all kinds of sexual shame that they embody so violently that they take it out on other people. Imagine what it would be like living in their own body, having normal sexual wants and needs. And when those needs come to their mind, they're probably overwhelmed with shame.
Yeah.
And that has to be more painful for them than anything they can spew onto me in my DMs. Because every time I get a ridiculous slut-shaming DM, or even one that's like from like light misogyny of she probably doesn't really play video games to like, you know, heavy misogyny of like she only, you know, a stupid whore would do something like that. It really doesn't reflect on me at all because I absolutely know who I am. For them to get so triggered by my existence on Instagram to have to say that, they're saying it like they're taking a binky. They're saying it as a self-soothing behavior. Because if they say that, it can feel truer to them. And then their shame can quiet down to the little pit of despair that they have in their bodies. But like that's, you know, I'm joking, but that is the truth.
Yeah.
They're in their own little like, how can these things exist? These things can't exist in the safe space that is in my body, so I must shame them, self-soothe, calm myself down, tell myself, yes, the boxes I've made are correct. If I stray outside these boxes, bad things will happen because they're not controlling me, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're definitely controlling themselves.
Yeah.
And there's no way those people are living their most authentic lives or they wouldn't be so triggered.
I've always felt that the things that people say about you say more about them than they do about you.
Yeah, because why would you,
Right.
like, where did this even come from?
Which is why
your internalized shame.
Yeah, which is why I don't read the comments, so you can say whatever you want. I don't care.
I do read the comments because I have a segment about it, but like, it's such an, like, it's somewhere between eye roll and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, I guess that's not a lie. Every once in a while I read the comments because I did get that really favorite comment.
Ooh, which one?
That I think I posted on Instagram. I feel like you
Tell me, I
responded.
probably did.
I can't remember it now, but it was about me being old.
Yeah, you're like, do you want me to be dead?
No, but
people age. There's no other alternative.
The way the guy put it was so funny, and it was like, I don't know. It brought me so much joy. The insult brought me so much joy because it was so funny, and he didn't mean to be funny.
No,
like
they
clearly,
don't.
like he was clearly like ESL, like English, but it was something like,
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. I looked at your thumbnail. I thought you were pretty, and then I joined your site, and then I found out you were old. I am very sorry. Something like that. And I just like, I don't know why. And sometimes I screen capped it. I have my phone. Sometimes I go back and I look at it and I just like, it brings me joy.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh so hard.
Also, like, you can't,
Because I'm
know
like,
about
I'm
you, but,
sorry
like,
that I am old as well. I
Yeah.
am also sorry about that. I
like,
wish
my
I wasn't.
knee is sorry that I'm old. Do you know what I mean? Like, but like, you can't age shame me because
The alternative is I would be
being
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Why would I be sad that I'm old
Yeah.
and progressively getting older?
Yeah.
Yay! Like, also, I lived those years.
Yeah.
They were fine. This is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That's true. That is true. Our birthdays are coming up
I
too.
know. Yeah.
Your birthday is because
the
you're
30th.
Yeah, because your birthday
Yeah.
is like 6 days before mine.
Yeah, like we're Virgo City right in there.
So speaking of stigma and all of that, extreme sex challenges and what some people will call clout chasing stunts are everywhere online
Rage
now.
baiting, all that. Mm-hmm.
Do you see this as empowering self-expression or dangerous content farming?
I'll give you my honest opinion. You know, kind of not like both and neither, because people's business model doesn't really affect me. It does kind of amp up the bad stigma on us, but that was already there. What I really think about it is I'd like to talk to the people doing that and just like say, that's not good for your longevity. Like, again, I don't care what you're doing, but if your whole business plan is one-upping yourself, it's not sustainable. Like, you've created an unsustainable business plan. Why would you do that?
Well, but could you make so much money in that short amount of time that could sustain you, and then you could
make a lot of money in that amount of time?
Because it is hard. Because I also like, I'm not sure how I feel about this, and I also don't care. Well.
No, I mean,
I'm
whatever.
like, do whatever you want. And
sure, people are talking about it and like, oh my God, it's so whatever. But like, okay.
I also, I don't care in the sense that I feel like everybody should do whatever they want to do and whatever feels good to them. And there's also a part of me that's like, fuck you, go girl. Like, good marketing. Like,
it is good marketing.
Do it.
And I'm not against it as a whole. It just makes me feel anxious for them because it's not a sustainable business plan. And I do hope that those people do make a lifetime's worth of money, have a good financial team to make sure it actually is a lifetime's worth of money that will still be around, when they're 95 or however old they live. Because once you're a sex worker, you can't really get another job. So it has to be a lifetime's worth of money. And it makes me nervous for them that there's no you can't go backwards brand-wise, really. And since it isn't sustainable, I feel nervous that either they're not going to make a lifetime's worth of money or that they'll blow through the lifetime's worth of money quickly and then have really not many options to continue with this career. Again, not my problem, not my business, not my body, but I'm just like, the little business human in me is like, oh, are you sure? A few of them I think will make that lifetime's worth of money, but I think a lot of people will try and emulate it. And like, once you go, once your whole fan base is based on extreme, then all of your fans need extreme. And you'd have to completely rebrand yourself, which I guess isn't impossible, but oh God, now you have to start over.
It's interesting because like, I know that, people see it as, these extreme, insane acts, and which, I guess they are, but I also just see it as like, it's just intense marketing.
Yeah, who cares?
Because it's like you do have, in this time where everybody's on OnlyFans,
it's great
10% of women, you have to have a way to stand out. I remember actually having Bonnie Blue on here when she was pretty fucking new. And I asked her, how do you like, what advice would you give to girls standing, wanting to start an OnlyFans? How can you be successful? And she was like, find a niche, find a way to stand out.
Yes.
Girl,
absolutely.
You found a way to fucking stand out.
Yeah. And that is great marketing.
Yeah.
And I guess if that's the only way that you feel like you can stand out, it's better to maybe do that than, what a nightmare if you went to become a sex worker and made no money and had nothing to show for it and had to deal with the stigma and job loss for the rest of your life. I guess it would be better to make any money at all.
Yeah.
I'm just such a like long term, I'm like, but what about next year and 10 years from now and 20 years from now and like flexibility and all that stuff. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Certainly no shame, no shade. It just gives me that like, is that sustainable for you?
I don't know. Maybe they're making a bunch of money and investing it in like vending machines.
I hope so.
I hear that like, that can sustain you for a while. I don't know.
Again,
I saw it on Instagram that
if the money is good,
in vending machines,
the investments are wise, it sustains you for the rest of your life because it will be hard to get another job, then fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say that about anyone doing anything in the sex work world.
Right.
Extreme or not extreme.
Yeah.
Think ahead. Yeah. Plan. Be careful. This money you're making might only last a year or 5 years. Really don't, if you're making, $1 million a year, you probably shouldn't live like you're making $1 million a year as a lawyer because they're going to work till they're 65 and we probably aren't.
What is your long-term plan?
I do plan to work till I'm 65.
I did have a woman on my podcast once who I think was 65.
No, I think it would be great if people still liked me then. I don't plan to stop. I feel like I'll be stopped rather than be like, I'm bored.
But you do look insane.
Thank you.
Like for being my age.
Same.
But like, it's not just your face. But like how come your body looks like that? Why doesn't mine?
Are you not looking in the mirror?
Yes, I look in the mirror all the time. I know I had a kid, but still.
You look amazing. And you know you do.
No.
Yes. Yes. I've seen your pictures.
I know. But they're photoshopped.
Same.
Let's be honest.
Same.
I know, but I've seen you naked in real life.
Same.
You're more beautiful.
You're more beautiful.
Yeah.
If I just went to flick my hair, but it's in a bun.
But what? Okay, so what do you do?
We also didn't plan the twins look, but it's
I know.
working.
I know. I didn't have time to do my hair this morning because I had to.
I just didn't feel like it.
Violet to first day of school. So, so what do you do to maintain your beautiful physique?
It's always different stuff, different years, but lately for the past a bunch of years, I've been doing like a mix of Pilates and CrossFit, which feel like they're at the opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah. But I feel like CrossFit works me out till I want to like puke with a lot of like bigger muscle groups. And then I like take the, on reformer Pilates to make sure that I'm not going to get like a rotator cuff tear and my abs are still strong. Like kind of like small muscle group, big muscle group, like light cardio, want to vomit cardio and mix it in. Yeah.
When I started boxing, that's when it really got me into exercising. And I got fit from boxing and I realized I'm like, oh, you actually have to exercise until you think you're going to vomit. That's when like, you can't just go on the elliptical machine for 20 minutes and read Vogue.
That gives me nothing. And I
like
mean
that doesn't work. Like you literally mentally have to feel sick.
Yeah. And Pilates I do because it's good for me.
Yeah.
But because I used to be like a marathon runner and that gave me that, like for my mental health, I need to get all the way to where my brain during the workout is going, please God, stop. This isn't great. And my willpower is saying, nah, I'm good. I need to go to push that hard to get the endorphins, because that's like, I don't do drugs, but that's what I imagine that like actual like high feeling would be. It's like euphoric, and it really keeps my mental health on track. Like if I miss a week at the gym, I'm a little cranky.
Yeah.
Like it really feeds me drugs when I push like that. And I've been doing that type of working out almost my whole life in different forms. So I think I'm addicted.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to be addicted to. Do you do this on your own, or do you have a trainer? Because I find like, I have found that my one thing is I have to go to classes.
They're both
or I
classes.
Have to have a
both
trainer.
of those things are classes.
If you leave me to my own devices, I will
Running I did on my own,
reason.
but it has a, like, I'm going to run 6 miles is definitive. I was never able to like capture that, like going to do it on my own. So I need a class environment.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm a little I'll be honest, I'm lackadaisical.
Yeah, no, I will too. I will totally I need this shame of leaving a class early to keep me in there.
I want to be like,
you know what
everyone
I mean?
else is doing it. Of course you can. Of course you can.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You feel like the community
like look at everyone like
you.
working so hard. Look at people of all different age groups, of all different body types. Like if all of these humans in class can do it, of course you can.
Oh, that's wonderful, because for me it's the shame. The shame keeps me in.
You know what? It keeps you looking hot.
All right. So I know that the listeners, we did promise some fun, dirty details as well. So let's loosen some things.
You mean activism and age gating porn is not...
You guys want to hear about dicks? Would you like to hear about dicks? So you've done everything, obviously, from mainstream porn to fan customs.
Yeah.
What is the filthiest custom request you've actually ever said yes to? And what's the one that you've said no to?
What is like filthy? Like I've done anal, I've done all the things that some people think of as filthy. I do everything that doesn't break my morals or the law. Like I don't really have, like if I'm physically capable of doing it and ethically in tune with doing it, I'll do it. Especially if it makes you happy, even if it's not my bag of chips, so to speak. Like I've done 45 minutes of sniffing my upper lip. That does not make me wet. But I was happy to do that for the customer. I've eaten little plastic people in a bowl and chastised them for peeing in my cereal. Like, does it make me wet? No, not at all. But there's someone out there right now that is hopefully still jerking off to me, yelling at people for pissing in my cereal.
How did you sniff your upper lip for 45 minutes?
Do you want to watch?
Yes.
Well, for 45 minutes, it was, I won't lie, it got to be a willpower thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a really long time, but just like.
For 45 minutes?
Girl, 4 minutes is a lot.
Did you take breaks?
No, you gotta just get it over with.
You did that straight for 45 minutes?
If you take a break, how are you gonna go back to it?
If you start filming again.
No.
Or maybe
no, you gotta
just
get it. You gotta just get it done.
No, you know what I would do? I would do several cuts and then I would loop certain parts, but I would mix it up so the guy wouldn't know. So I would cheat.
My editing skills, this is years ago, were not that good. Even if I had thought of it, I feel like just like rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Just press play, get your timer on, and just sniff.
I would have cheated. Don't ever order a 45-minute upper lip sniffing custom from me because I will cheat. It will not be authentic. Cherie, however, will actually sniff her upper lip for 45 minutes.
It was the longest because I wasn't supposed to talk. If I could have talked, you know me, I could have just blabbled on for 45 minutes and kept myself entertained.
The crazy thing is that this guy like gooned to that for 45 minutes, I assume.
Yeah, I really would love to know. If you ordered that custom from me, what was your favorite part? Is it the nostril flaring? Is it the lip movement? Is it because I can really scrunch my nose weird? What is it?
That is so interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I've heard some like
I do have a few no's people, and I think it's because I haven't Botoxed my bunny lines like most people. Because I do have like a lot I can do with my nose.
There was I remember Madison Ivy, she has like fairly large nostrils.
Madison, yeah.
I remember she told me that there was a whole subreddit dedicated to her nostrils.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Someone with a really little dick wants to get up in them. In them.
There is a
nostrils.
hole for every penis.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
See, guys, it doesn't matter how small your dick is. We can find a hole.
We can find a way.
I mean, sex workers, they're just problem solvers.
Honestly.
No dick is too small.
Nope.
No hole is unavailable. So, and speaking of mainstream porn, you are a contract star for Brazzers, our favorite people.
Yes.
How long have you been with them now?
A few years. I have to look back to see when at least 3 years. Post-pandemic.
Has it only been 3 years? It feels like it's been longer.
Maybe it's been 4. I should like count it and then have little anniversaries for myself because I love stuff like that. I'm just like, every time I have to, because I don't know about the other contract, but I do mine every 6 months. So I'm always like, no matter like, I'm always like sweating when it's coming up, like, please resign me, please, you know what I mean? So like I feel like maybe because of my anxiety, like I've been like, oh God, oh God, okay, I got it 6 more months, instead of like celebrating my wins of every year as like, the ability to be contracted with them. Yeah.
So obviously you want this contract.
Oh my God. Till the day I retire. I tell them that every time I resign. I'm like, just so you know, I would keep you till the day I retire. Like, please God.
So for those who don't know, why? What makes Brazzers the best?
First of all, like the whole like emotion of Brazzers is like right up my alley of the type of porn I want to create. Like it is hardcore sex. It is all of the types of filthy with all of the types of humans I like. And it doesn't take itself too seriously. There's almost always like a little bit of like tongue in cheek, a little Easter egg, a little like laugh factor in every porn. You can show that emotion. It doesn't have to be like hot girl all the time. I can get as messy as I want to where like my eyelash is stuck to my foot. And they let me do that. They let me look like a little like cock gremlin at the end, all like fucked up and messy, and say funny things and just like have it be hot and funny and joyful. And like, that's the scenes. But then you and I know, but most outsiders wouldn't know this. They've always been at the forefront of advocacy, donating to all of our important causes, FSC, pineapple support.
I think they definitely make up like more than 50% of the donations.
Yeah. So like all of our lobbying efforts, all of our mental health efforts, Cupcake Girls, all of that they support. And they're, always like advocating for best testing standards, they were one of the first ones with a consent form, talent liaisons. Like they're always every year bettering themselves at not just the business stuff, but like how can we be the company that makes the models the most comfortable on set, the most safe? How can we be at the forefront, pushing the other companies into bettering themselves as well? And they absolutely have been doing that my whole tenure here.
Yeah, they're definitely at the forefront of all of that. And it's been...
So I feel proud.
Yeah.
They're not just like a big glamorous company to put my name on, which they are, but there are other big glamorous companies that I would not be proud to put my name on ethically.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they just align with my brand in every facet so beautifully that I am proud to be contracted with them.
They also make great merch.
They do make great merch.
They make great merch. I love
that I give to my friends sometimes, and it's like wearable.
I love getting like my box of merch from Brazzers. I have to say, so my 4-year-old has a swim class every Thursday, and I accidentally packed a Brazzers towel for her swim class. And so like, she gets out of the pool and it's like, there's a lot of kids there. There's a lot of families there.
Well, a lot of parents. The kids don't know, but the parents.
No, and I just took the towel out and I was like,
we're wearing it inside out.
Shit. And I was like, I just scooped her up and I just held her. I'm like, we're going to the showers right now. She's like, Mommy, why are you in such a hurry? I'm like,
yeah, just cause.
And actually on her last day of preschool, I do this too. I forget.
You have your purse or your fanny pack.
I showed up in my new Brazzers velour fucking pants.
Do those fit you?
Yes.
They don't fit me at all.
They fit me. Are they too small?
Way too small.
Yeah, they fit me. They wouldn't have
small.
fit me 10 pounds ago, but they fit me.
Oh, well, good.
Did they send you a small?
I've tried small and medium, and it's like they just don't work for my body.
With the bling on the butt?
Yeah, I love the idea of them. Yeah. I wanted them to love me, but
yeah, I don't know. They fit me.
Good for you. Must be nice.
But I went and I picked her up in those pants and the Brazzers slides.
Oh my God.
And I get there and I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, it's her last day.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Fuck it.
I'm never going to see these people again.
Fuck it. Yeah.
Anyways. But yes, keep sending me the merch and I will continue to wear it in inappropriate places.
Do they send you the boys merch too?
Mm-mm.
No, you should ask them.
No, I should. Yeah, for my husband.
Yeah.
They've definitely sent it before and I have given it to him and he has worn it proudly and he's given it. His hockey team does like a big like tournament at the end of the year and he usually gives it away as like gifts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I should. I will.
Yeah, my partner has a better luck at wearing it in public without being harassed than I do. Because of course, like if they thought I might be Cherie, they might not say anything. But then like if you double down by wearing the Brazzers merch, now I'm like a bunch. Like it's fine. Everyone's respectful. But if I wear it in public, I have to be like, I am going to be approached a lot today.
Yes.
Do I feel like being approached a lot today?
Yes. All right. Well, Cherie, thank you so much. It was so good to see you. Of course, we have some Patreon questions that we're going to do in a separate segment. All
the dirty questions.
The dirty questions. Yeah. Yes. I adore you. Not just as a performer, but as a friend. And every time we talk, I feel like I learned something new and that we could go on forever. Like I could literally do another hour. But before, of course, we wrap up, I wanted you to tell everyone where they can find you if they're not already following you, which I feel like is crazy because Cherie DeVille, like everybody knows who she is. But just in case you've been living under a fucking rock, where can people find you online?
Or don't like MILFs because we're so old.
Yes, so old. Very sorry about that.
Very sorry. Everything, all of my socials, all of my websites are on CherieDeVille.com. CherieDeVille.com.
See how fucking organized she is? She has everything.
Because everything changes all the time. So if I watermark it one way, because I've done this wrong in the past, and then something changes, then the wrong watermark is out there for all time. So I made my solo site into just like a housing site. So when things change, it's like always still right.
Yeah.
But I learned that the hard way.
And if you guys want to follow me, you can actually go to hollylinks.com and that does have all of my links to all of my platforms as well. But
I can't believe you got Holly links.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's awesome.
Also more Holly, but that's my OnlyFans link. And on Instagram, I have Holly Randall, believe it or not. And on Twitter. And of course, if you want to support this podcast and access these live streams and listen to the Patreon Q&A we're going to do, go to patreon.com/HollyRandallUnfiltered. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.